My coping method is driving.
My coping method is creativity in nature.
My coping method is to throw things at the wall and see what sticks.
My coping method is expressing myself through music, writing, and anything else.
My coping method is making music.
My coping method is using music to heal my emotions.
My coping method is running.
So my name is Georgia Spalding. I'm originally from South Africa, but I'm living currently in Kelowna, BC. I am a videographer and a photographer. My coping method is creativity in nature. So before kind of finding a solid coping method for myself, my outlook and perspective was pretty bleak. I would experience such anxiety that I would just get into some really intense lows, and I wouldn't really know how to get myself out of them. I like to call it like my tool belt. I like to think of having all of my coping methods as like a mental tool belt. So depending on how I'm feeling, I can just reach in there and I'll grab out like making music, going outside, taking photos, going on a hike, taking videos, just doing something to get my mind off my reality and just trying to like pull myself out of that by doing things that I really enjoy. So now that I have that kind of tool belt that is handy to me, my perspective has been a lot more positive over the past couple of years. Since I was about 15, I've been struggling with some extreme anxiety. It's on a daily basis that I deal with it. It's like I am just kind of constantly worried about everything and anything. It's not even like things that are actually happening to say. It's just like I just feel like something bad is gonna happen constantly, and it's tiring. It's like mentally tiring to live out every single day and just like have this horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. So that's on almost a daily basis. And then I also struggle with depression. I've had that since high school as well. I went through some really dark times in high school. Definitely hit some low patches that I didn't think I was going to come out of. And that was really scary. Like it's scary to kind of get to a point where you don't want to be here anymore and you don't know if you'll be here next week. And yeah, so my depression now isn't quite as severe because I have a really good support system, but it's still something that kind of sneaks up on me every now and then. In high school, there was a band that you could join. It was called Rock Academy, and it was like I was a drummer and I was working with other students. It was grades 10 to 12. So that was like a really good experience. It got me out of my comfort zone for sure because we did performances like 3 times a year, and it really challenged me and kind of forced me to stop thinking about things I was struggling with, because I was like, oh, I have practice tonight and I have to learn 3 songs by then, and I have to work with other people and really get this down so I don't let my my team down and my band down. So I had a music teacher who really pushed me creatively. He really helped me kind of grow as a musician and as a person. So he helped a lot. And then on pretty much every weekend, me and my parents would go out for hikes, and just being able to like get out for pretty much the whole day and just like the quietness, the sound of your footsteps, that's like all you're listening to. You're not on your phone, you're not, listening to music, you're not consuming media, it's just you, and you're outside in nature. And that was also really helpful. I didn't really understand how helpful that was to me until probably last year, where I really was like, oh, hiking and like going for walks and just being out in nature every day, like it really does change your perspective on life and helps you slow things down. And you kind of just sit and enjoy what's around you. So about 5 years ago, I was still living in Edmonton, and my dad got a promotion, so we were moving. And I found out that we were moving to a place that I'd never really considered living. So I got really depressed, and I was really worried because it was going to be a new experience. I was going to just out of high school, no friends, new city, just kind of stuck almost. Like I didn't have a car, I didn't have anything. So I was really quite depressed. So I couldn't even even begin to plan 5 years into the future, because I was just so stuck in the rut that I was in. I was so stuck of like just this miserable feeling of like going somewhere where I have no friends, I know nobody, I don't know how to meet people. I was pretty awkward at that point, so I would never have just like gone somewhere and started talking to someone. So I was a bit worried, but thankfully I found an arts college, and that really helped change kind of my trajectory in that time. And I've met probably my longest friend there, and really just changed my life for the better. And yeah, I was in such a rut that I just couldn't even plan 5 years into the future. So I don't think I could have ever been as mentally healthy as I am right now. So in the last 5 years, something that did change that was just like a good support system. I made a lot of friends. I rebuilt relationships with my parents. I got into a really healthy relationship. I'm actively looking for ways to communicate better with people and with myself. And I'm also the quest for, healing yourself and figuring yourself out never ends. So I'm just kind of on a constant, okay, I'm feeling like this today and I don't know why. How can I figure out how to do that? So, and having that support system and being able to talk to friends and family really helps, because then you're not alone and you're talking. It's better to talk than to leave things on the back burner. So I also feel like when I was first understanding anxiety, I feel like a lot of people were like, no, you don't have anxiety. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, you're nervous for something? You're nervous about this thing? You're nervous about that thing? Like, it really it dampened my confidence in myself to understand my brain. And I felt like I was putting on a show. I was like, oh, maybe I am just pretending right now. And then I'd have to stop and be like, okay, but I'm literally shaking right now, so why am I shaking? And then I'd be like, am I pretending that I'm shaking? Like, it was like a constant circle of just like self-doubt. And I think we need to stop telling people that they don't have anxiety if they do. The stigma for mental health has changed so much in the past probably 2 years since COVID, I think. Like, when I was still in high school, like, I was so ashamed to say that I was going to see a counselor at school. I would just say, like, I would make something up. I'd be like, oh, I have to talk to a teacher about an assignment, and I'd go see the counselor because I didn't want people to know. I didn't tell my family. I didn't tell pretty much, only like my best friends knew that I was struggling. From there till COVID, I would say it was kind of the same. And then COVID hit and everyone realized that everyone was struggling. And so I think that really broke down a lot of walls in people's minds, and also just like all over like society. People started to realize that this is like something you should talk about and you shouldn't really like hold it inside. So I think that with my generation, like, we're just not really taking things lying down anymore. Like, we're actually trying to do stuff about, you know, things that we're struggling with, and we're more open to just like talk to friends, being like, hey, I'm actually not doing very well today, like, can we reschedule? And just being able to say like, hey, can we reschedule, I'm not doing well, can do so much for someone, rather than forcing yourself to like go do something you don't actually want to do, and then the next day or that night you're feeling so much worse. So I think the stigma is being broken currently, and I think it still has a way to go, but it's definitely getting better. Like, I'll have people in my life who are like, oh, I'm struggling and I don't really know why, and I'll be like, hey, you might be experiencing some anxiety right now, you might be experiencing some depression, and having that open conversation with them and just being like, hey, it's okay, because I'm also going through similar things, so I'm always free to talk. And just having that like availability for people, and also having them be available for you is the way that things are going, and I think it's going in a very positive way. I would say that my coping method has had a super positive impact on my life. I think that without it, I'd be in a far worse place. I don't think that I'd be able to handle really intense things. Like, in the past 3 to 4 years, I've lost 4 people that were really, really special to me. And I don't think I would be able to kind of handle my emotions as well. Then I don't think I would have been able to handle my emotions as well as I did if I didn't have my coping methods. If I wasn't able to just go and play guitar, if I wasn't able to just like go outside and take a walk, if I wasn't able to go outside and take some photos or videos, I think that I would be a lot more not okay, because they were like pretty impactful things that happened, but I think I would be far worse off than I am right now, because I had my toolbox, I had my tool belt that I was able to just be like, okay, I need to just have some time, listen to some music, I need to have some time and just go outside and go for a walk. Mental health to me means being okay with not being okay, and just understanding that there's going to be days where you really struggle, but knowing that in a day, in 2 days, in a week, in a month, you're going to be out of that. Because for every low, there's always a high, and you will always experience lows. But it's being able to say, okay, I'm handling this low, and I'm gonna be okay later on. And being okay with not knowing when that will be, but knowing that in the interim, you will be fine and you can handle it. If you're struggling with anxiety or depression, I really want to encourage you to find someone that you can talk to. That's what everyone says, but it's really true. You really need to be able to talk to someone and be able to communicate what you're feeling, and also just experimenting with coping methods, and finding something that you're really good at, that you find that pulls you out of a bad mood or a rut. Finding those things and then using that, but also finding other things. Never stop looking for other things that can help you. And lastly, as well, it's always said, but go talk to a doctor and let them know that you need help, and they have lots of different ways that they can help you and make sure that you are going to be okay. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters, is that you are okay and you are here and you are thriving. And you just have to find things that help you do that. And I just encourage you to go and find your support system and really lean on them.